Right. Oh, I think we're live. We're live? Doing my stream frozen. There we go. Now we're live. Right? Yes. All right. Excellent. Sorry about that. Good evening, everyone. There we go. There we go. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Fable. Professor McCoy, how are things going? More things.
Been in the wars, Guildmaster?
Yeah. So we do, by the way, have a couple of side quests to do first, and then we got a main quest. So let's begin here. Which one of these do we want to do first? Bounty hunt or bandit spy extraction? Oh no, not this one. Not this one. This is for the bandits, and this is doing evil. Bounty hunt, I guess, is the next one. All right. So anyway, how we doing? You'll notice that there is a little super chat goal. So if you would like to contribute to that, I would be greatly appreciative. That is for, like I said, that is to help me offset the cost of buying Greedfall, which I do. I am hoping to start with you guys on Thursday night this week. Finally, we're actually going to start Greedfall 2. The game's been out for a few weeks now. I am past the hope of a Steam sale, so is what it is. I'm just hoping that you guys can throw a few bucks my way, and we can make that slightly less expensive. All right. I'm probably not going to have any boosts, but I'll try. I'll see what there is to do. Probably going to be the usual things that I can't really accomplish easily anyway. No protection of that starts. Perform quickly, huh? Time limit. I'm gonna try and behead the leader. Why not? Hey Grace, how you doing? Alright, let's behead the leader. Excuse me, everybody.
Oh, hello there, hero.
Hello there. Not that far. Actually, where is this? Hold on, what's my menu key? Let's escape, right? Of course it is. Hero status, right? Quests. Where's the bounty hunt? Hidden bounty hunt. Not that. Bounty hunt, this one. Oh, it's right there in Greatwood. Okay, it's right there, right there. Anyway, hi Simp, how are you doing tonight? Simp, Grace, both of you guys. Uh-oh. A woman.
Hero! Oh, thank Avo you're here. The bandit gang you're looking for have taken hostages. They ran into Greatwood.
That's troubling.
Maybe you can catch them. Good luck. I'll wait here and send more help if I can.
Help. I mean, the Heroes Guild is right there. Are they allowed to come and help? Or is that interfering with my quest? I don't know if that's allowed.
We've heard there's a hero after us, and we'll never get the ransom for these two if he catches us. We'd better scarper. Let's split up. Bob, you head off to Fisher Creek with that one. Me and Rab will head towards Greatwood Lake with the other. We'll leave a few lads to take care of him. Let's go.
Well, alright then. They're the Scarper.
I'm not scared of you, hero. Yeah.
That's my leader. He's way too smart for you.
There we go. Ow. Man, guys, come on.
You measly puppet. Oh, I can't watch. There! He's there! Make the hurt go away. What trickery is this? Oh, I can't watch.
Okay. Well then. That was, harder than it should have been. These bandits tough or something? Right in the noggin.
Lucky hero, but you won't.
All right. Excellent. What am I going to? Fisher Creek or Greatwood Lake? Let's do the creek first. Take out the little man first before we do the big boss. Anyway, Grace, I'm doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. How about you guys?
Help! Hero! Over here!
Uh-oh. Is he going to use the hostage properly or what? Am I just going to be able to boom headshot him? Oh, this is precarious.
Come on. Do your worst. You're no match for me.
Uh-oh.
Will not see another day.
By Scorn.
There. Come on.
What? Well, I guess I magicked him. But he needs to just stand back and let me do my thing. Okay, guys? Like, please.
Hero!
It's an entirely different woman.
The bandit gang you're looking
Interesting,
for
okay.
have taken hostages.
That's interesting. Worse for wear, had to cancel
We've heard
prepaid
there's a
credit.
hero.
His, unsubstantiated charges poofed into my account. Oof. Yeah, that's not ideal.
You won't catch my leader. He's way too smart for you.
Got one. Ow. Really? There we go. Did that get him? Yeah, okay. That's better. From Google for TikTok. Check my Google payment to make sure didn't have to sleep subs to something on TikTok and it didn't exist there. Yeah, well, that's yeah, that sounds like somebody got a hold of it, that sort of thing. Were you at least able to get the to get it resolved, get the cash back for it? Because you said it was prepaid, right? That can be
You're a lucky hero.
that can be a
But you
little bit
won't
tough,
get past.
tough to handle that way. Got his head. Alright, let's try this again, shall we? Welcome back, Imsim. Oh, you were gone for 10 minutes. Alright, well, we haven't done too much. I just had to start the mission over. The quest. So, that's all. Okay, we get it. Pop him in the head.
Very good to see you. He looks all right.
How did he get around me? I hope this doesn't kill my hostage. You like the armor? Yeah, it is the bright chainmail, so it's the good guy chainmail. Alright, let's just do this again. No.
I'll be alright.
So you're the one they call Liberator, eh? I reckoned you'd be much taller. He don't look like
There we
no
go.
Liberator to me.
No,
I
not
tell
quite. Okay, never mind. Just kidding. There we go.
Thank you for rescuing me, hero. But the bandit leader and his deputy still have my sister. I overheard the bandits say they were taking her through Greatwood Lake. Head that way to catch them. I'm going back to Bowerstone where it's safe.
Well, hopefully that it both resolves and doesn't wind up losing too very much. And also, yeah, good thing that you got it taken care of quickly. That's the other difficult thing. That helps tremendously. Yeah. Yeah, to Sam's point on the armor, it's interesting.
See another day. By Scott.
The armor in this game is very interesting. It is, it's very much. I was kind of talking about this a little bit last week. It's interestingly modern in its aesthetics. Right. It is exactly the kind of armor that that is really fitting to modern sensibilities, far more so than
I'm impressed, hero.
okay, than proper medieval sensibilities.
But my leader has another hostage somewhere in Greatwood Lake. Not that you'll defeat me. What?
I'm just gonna run past you. Bye. This is unimportant. They're not gonna follow me between zones, so I don't care. Gotta love exploits in old game design. Oh no. Uh-oh. Here they come.
Last chance of the broad. That's it. Say goodbye to the hostage.
Wait, what? No! How am I gonna... Oh, I can shoot him, can't I? I have to kill the... I have to start over, don't I? Frick. Okay.
Hero! Oh, that
Yeah.
bandit gang you're looking for have taken hostages.
I will say, at least he is using the hostages properly. Like, as a hostage, rather than just, you know,
We've heard there's...
as a guy. An innocent bystander, if you will. But yeah. Pop either of them in the head. Come on, really?
I'm not scared of you, hero.
Oh, really? Just missed.
Won't catch my leader. He's way too smart for you.
Wait, why do I fight these guys? Why don't I just move on, like I did before? I'm just gonna rush them. Why not? Because I can just do that.
But you won't get past us.
Yeah, I can actually. I'd pause and show you what I mean about the armor, but I'm kind of being chased, so we'll have to suffice with a description of what I'm talking about. So the medieval aesthetics, especially armor design aesthetics, were waspish. That is the main way to describe the medieval aesthetic with respect to armor. Oh gosh. Okay, guys, come on. Get zooted.
Hey, old friend. Ha!
He's just sitting on the bench. Yeah, waspish is how I would describe medieval armor aesthetics. Right, so broad-chested rather than broad shoulders. There may have been broad shoulders, but it wasn't as common as a broader chest, because that's what indicated strength. Right? Strength and therefore masculinity was a relatively reasonable shoulder profile. Like, they didn't typically have these gigantic pauldrons like you see on the on his right hand side. that was uncommon.
Thank you for rescuing me, hero.
Especially through the Middle
But
Ages.
the
that
bandit leader and his deputies
big
still have my
pauldrons became
sister.
a little bit more
I
common.
overheard the bandits say they were taking her
in the
through Greatwood
Renaissance,
Lake.
a little bit later.
Head that way to catch them. I'm going back to Bowerstone where it's safe.
Once you started having more armor layering in plate mail and things like that. But even then, it wasn't all that common. The medieval aesthetic, like I said, it was relatively narrow up here. You had relatively low-profile pauldrons, and then a broad chest, which was typically rounded or angled. And again, those depend on practical design decisions to decide how your armor angling is going to work, what's going to deflect what, and how. Oh, hi guys. Better just run past these dudes.
I'm impressed, hero.
Shut up.
For my leader has not the...
Nah. There we go. But then you see the hero's armor here is broad at the shoulders and then slightly narrows and then goes straight down. The more waspish look of medieval armor was... Ah, jeez. He really got me there, didn't he? Was broad in the chest, then narrowed at the waist. And then flared out again at the fold. The fold being that sort of that hanging portion that hangs down beyond the waist into the leg. There we go. I'm gonna see if I can shoot him from here, huh? Yeah. But yeah, you didn't have this kind of bulky leg armor, like these knee pads and things like that. That was also not typical either. If anything, you had not to sound too silly, but it was a passing fashion, but it kind of came and went, but came more than it went, of pointed toes on shoes and boots and sabatons and all sorts of things, various like throughout the Middle Ages, even up into the Renaissance. It says, do you think wasp-like look of medieval armor eventually influenced the wasp's corset in the 1890s? The early pre-pigeon-breasted, early Edwardian silhouette. I would not doubt it, if only because the sort of Romantic period, the Edwardian period, generally the 19th century, was kind of obsessed with medieval aesthetics. If I can get him. Yeah! I got him good. Knocked his head clean off. Ah! Okay, I knocked his head clean off, but like, I didn't know there was more guys.
I can see him. Come on.
There we go. All right.
Hero, you're the best! You saved us all! Amazing! Thanks again, Hero. I'm off to Bowerstone now to find my relatives. I hope they're safely home in one piece. Please accept this reward.
Your brother is, at least. I say. Well, I mean, I don't know if he actually got back. Treasure clue. Yay! We decapitated him. Plus 2,000 what? Experience? Renown? Can't tell. I guess experience. Alright. Alright, well, while we're back here, let's see if there's anything here. Oh, yeah, we can get this, can't we? Elixir of Life. Take that. Tonight, on, says Imsimp, Professor McCoy's The Philosophy of Fable, the U.S. President feuding with the Pope. How to impart good Catholic habits onto children, and what is a just war? Can you be nostalgic for a decade you never lived in? This and more tonight on The Philosophy of Fable. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. Let's see. Where'd I put it? Oh, no, not there. By the way, the dramatic baritone is basically my my Gonf voice. So if you have if you've ever read Redwall, particularly the second book, Mossflower. I'm reading it to my kids right now, and I was basically instructed, I suppose, by the narration that Gonf, the Prince of Mouse Thieves, the dear friend to Martin the Warrior, or who becomes a dear friend of Martin the Warrior, that he has a smooth baritone voice. So basically, I've just started doing my best Lando Calrissian for Gonf, the Mouse Thief, when I'm reading. Which, my best... Oh, he wants to talk to me, doesn't he? My best Lando Calrissian is still not great, but, you know, that's what it is. Where's my quests? And the Old Abbey. In the Hook Coast. In Darkwood. Okay. So you want me to just go through these questions one by one? Because I have a lot to say, obviously, about the president's recent blasphemy and sacrilege spree. Which would... Greatwood. Darkwood, huh? Jeez. I guess the best place to go to would be Barrowfields, yeah? Alright, go get a snack, and then you go ahead and ask me a proper question one at a time, and we'll go through all those. Because that is a good list of topics, I'll say. I say that is a good list of topics. As far as imparting good Catholic, or just good in general habits onto children, let me know when you find out. Let me know when you figure it out. I'm open to advice. I can share what advice I can, but I'm no... yes, fine, I'm an ethicist, but that does not mean that I'm an expert in raising good, holy, and pious children. My children, as of right now, are quite small, and so I don't know how successful I am and am being imparting good habits to them. That's always the challenge. I should wait until Imsim gets back. I'm going to have to repeat all this, but that is really a large part of the challenge to raising kids in general, is that you don't quite know how you're doing, if you're doing particularly well or not. Really until, until much later, and maybe even until it's too late, you know? Let's see, anything of use? What you got? I could buy chocolates at a little bit of a discount, but not great. Cider? It's not a great price. Yeah, it's okay. It's a decent price. All right, what can I sell? Items. Produce. Wait. Can I just sell these back to him for a profit? I can. That's very stupid. Can't believe that. Can I buy them back? Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. This is going to be a little while. Yeah, I found an infinite money glitch, but it's like 200 gold at a time, so stand by. We'll chat about stuff while I just do this forever. Good lord. Yeah, that's working. It asked me you'd have to ship them to me. Whoa, hold on. Oh, goldfish crackers, that's what. I thought you were talking about my children, or the cider crates. Either way would be a little odd. Yeah, but no, I can, in fact, not. I probably can't ship you my children. I don't think the post office would really take them. Though I will say, on a very, very slightly related note, something that's always like to discuss is that the TSA really just absolutely ruined air travel, didn't they? Because I used to fly a lot when I was a kid. At least every summer, I used to fly up to my relatives up in Connecticut, and a lot of the time, going from the time I was probably, I don't know, maybe 8 or so, something like that, maybe 10. I think it was probably when I was 10 I started doing it. I would fly by myself. No, I didn't actually. That's not quite right. No, it was a little before I was 10, because I know I started doing it before 9/11. And I was 10 when 9/11 happened, so it must have been at least the summer before my 10th birthday. So I must have been 9. But yeah, no, it was wonderful, actually. Flying used to be a joy, and then it became an absolute nightmare. And is currently an absolute nightmare. Wait, no. But, like most things the government touches, it completely ruins things for no good reason. And then it is really, really good at getting everyone to think that things have always been this way. Because I will say, I have a lot of students who are probably around your age. And when I mention things like, well, the TSA didn't exist when I was a kid, or the Department of Homeland Security didn't exist when I was a kid, or more recently, ICE didn't exist when I was a kid, people think I'm insane, or, ancient, which, fine, maybe I am, but people forget that all 3 of those organizations are post 9/11. The Department of Education didn't exist when my dad was a kid. And he is an old man at this point, but he's not ancient, but he's an old guy, he's a boomer. But, yeah, the Department of Education was when was it? 1970 something. It was in the 70s. Yeah. Yeah, it was basically like buying a bus ticket. You could, in fact, you could go to the counter at the you could go to an airport without a ticket. You could go up to the counter, the Delta or whatever airline counter, and say, I would like a ticket for this afternoon to place. And then you can buy a ticket. They will hand it to you. And then you can go to the plane, get onto the plane. And this was also, you could just walk to the plane. Security was like, there's a security guard over there, and he's kind of watching and making sure that you're not being weird and sketchy. That's all. That's it, really. Like, that's what security was when I was a kid. You know how many airplane-related terrorist attacks there were before 9/11 in the U.S.? I think it was one. I think it was D.B. Cooper. And that's the only one I can think of. And that was a really weird case, all right? That was not like a regular occurrence or anything. Where are they? There they are. Anyway, yeah, no, it was... Flying used to be really nice. Flying used to be really nice. And they completely freaking ruined it. I hate flying now. It's mostly because of the TSA. Not exclusively, but it's mostly because of the TSA. Sure, yeah, you hadn't had 2 hijacked planes flown into the middle of a major city, and another one flown into another major city, and another one almost flown into another major city until it was, taken down. But yeah, no, true. That is a good point. But also, that never happened before, and may have been attempted once since, allegedly, perhaps. But that's it. Like, it didn't happen before because, quite frankly, it is an extremely radical way to approach what is essentially an act of war, an act of terrorism. And then, of course, the other thing is that you it would be harder to get away with it now, but probably not impossible. Like that's the thing. It is it's incredible what you can accomplish in the world if you are not concerned with getting away with it. If you're just worried about accomplishing your task, and you don't care if you get away, if you don't care if you survive, you just care if you succeed, there's very little that any organization, any security service can do, no matter how thorough, to stop a bad actor from getting away with something nefarious. Right? Like this is part of why I was especially early on skeptical about conspiracy narratives surrounding various assassination attempts, whether that was Trump at Butler or Trump in by Mar-a-Lago. It wasn't by Mar-a-Lago, right? It was somewhere in Florida, or Charlie Kirk or any of these. Why I'm initially skeptical about conspiracy theories, because look, if you're even if you're a lone gunman, single shooter, or whatever, you can in fact kill somebody if you don't care whether you're going to get away with it or not. If you don't care about surviving, yeah, you can do that sort of thing. And there's precious little that even the best security can do to make that impossible, to actually stop it. To stop it, you have to get really, really lucky. More than anything else. Oops. Yeah. But yeah, also the as you say, it's now if you have too much shampoo, you're a threat to national security. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. If what they say is that they lied to us, that the terrorists hate us for our freedom. But I mean, that's absolutely not true. That's not why they hate us. That's not why they said they hate us. There's nothing to do with it. But let's assume that's true, and in that case, they won. They 100% won. The reactions to 9/11, very much like the reactions to COVID, were immensely worse for the country than anything the terrorists did directly. And by terrorists there, I'm including both, the hijackers on 9/11 and Anthony Fauci in creating COVID. Yeah. Well, I mean, flying itself probably isn't as bad as the TSA line before the flight. I mean, that's kind of true, but then also, even on the flight, used to have a lot fewer restrictions and fathers and things. And it also just generally used to be more luxurious because margins were wider. The profit margins for airline companies were wider. And so they could afford to be a little bit looser with the stuff that they provided, the services provided, etc. It was just a generally nicer experience. And part of that is just because we're living in a declining civilization, I guess. But a large part of why we're living in a declining civilization is because of the government is ruining everything. So there's that. Anyway, so backing up a bit, Imson says Trump is attacking the Pope and calling him weak. He should stay out of politics because he called all sides to end the war and make peace. You know, like how Jesus would want. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I absolutely find no fault in anything that the Pope has said publicly in the last couple of weeks, at least. Particularly surrounding the situation in Iran, but really in general, because he's also been he's right now I think he's in Algeria, right? And so he's addressing some of these some of the really horrific Christian persecutions that are going on in Africa right now. And it's funny, you see people complaining that, well, why isn't he addressing the issue of Nigeria? Well, he's right nearby, and he is addressing it there right now. It's just not what you're listening to, because Donald Trump isn't yelling about that. Donald Trump is yelling about is yelling about him saying, hey, don't murder innocent people. Which, you know, that's a really Catholic thing to say, isn't it? Like, don't murder innocent people. It's a good one. Which, look, I've said this before. But when the first day, one of the opening salvos on the part of the US against Iran is killing 50 or so schoolgirls in a targeted missile strike, I don't think you can justify that. Don't think you can justify the war that is a part of. And I think that it is absolutely and unequivocally the right thing to do for the Vicar of Christ to say, please stop this senseless slaughter. And it is just absolutely typical for the ruler of this world, so to speak. Let's come back to that phrasing. Because it's interesting, I suppose. Anyway, for the U.S. president to go after him and say, "Hey, how dare you tell me not to slaughter children? You're a weakling. You're a wimp. You're some kind of smelly hippie who doesn't want me to succeed. And I'm me. I'm Donald Trump. I'm supposed to succeed." Anyway, why am I being so petty? I don't know. I feel like the part of maybe why I'm talking and being so petty about this is just because the level of discourse, like from Trump's tweet or whatever you call it, geopolitical discourse has fallen so low that it's hard for me to not be flippant and dismissive of all this. Which honestly is, which I shouldn't be, both because it's unbecoming of me, but then also because it is it's in some sense disrespectful to Pope Leo, because he has absolutely not been dismissive or disrespectful or flippant about any of this. He's been absolutely and utterly serious, tremendously kind, and really theologically, philosophically, and even politically very insightful. I just get frustrated, and I suppose that's why Leo the 14th is Pope, and I am, Dad. I'm at most philosophy professor, or perhaps at most Dad, which is a hell of a job title, but it's not papa, so to speak. Grace asks, how do you like cherry? Do you like cherry Coke? If yes, have you tried cherry float Coke, or is that just a Canadian thing? I do not like any kind of cola. I'm not a fan of cola. I like cherry flavored sodas, broadly speaking. Like if you can ever find them, like the black cherry sodas. I like cherry Dr. Pepper, things like that. As far as floats, I will make damn near any soda into a float very happily. And I will say, anything with cherry flavor is very nice in a float. I'll say that. So, yeah, I would approve of something like a cherry Coke float. If now, I don't... Let me clarify here. By float here, I mean soda poured over vanilla ice cream. Right? That is what you mean by that? I don't know if the Canadian terminology is different. That's what that means here. I assume that's the same thing. Yeah, Imsim said, I heard an intriguing take on Pope Leo over the weekend. A friend of mine was confirmed. Had brunch afterwards. Mother said she didn't like Leo. I thought he wasn't conservative enough. It was something like the opposite. He wasn't liberal enough like Francis. Interesting. I think he is actually quite conservative. Taylor Marshall, who... He's Taylor Marshall. If you don't know who he is, it's fine. Don't worry about it. He is a longstanding Catholic influencer and a fierce critic of Pope Francis. He said he had an interesting insight, and this was actually posted in the religion channel in Discord. He said that he pointed out a lot of what Pope Leo is concerning himself with, and a lot of the things that Trump doesn't like him concerning himself with. And he pointed out that in the American political context, Pope Leo is wildly more conservative and more right-wing than Donald Trump. Like, on every social issue, on foreign interventionism, on basically everything, Pope Leo is to the right of Donald Trump. In fact, he is just simply too far right for the current American political climate. Like, he could not be elected by the Republicans, even in a primary, right now, because he's too far to the right. Because he's so far to the right, even of Donald Trump. Who, by the way, if we all remember, like, Donald Trump is basically a fairly moderate liberal from the 90s, that's all. The New York liberal from, like, 1996. Is Bill Clinton. I would say without the mass slaughter of innocent school children, but now he's got that under his belt, so... Cool. Anyway. Oh. Cherry Float is a new flavor of Coke, released here in Florida, but with snow until April. Huh. New flavor of Coke. Okay, no, I have no idea. I'm assuming it's like cherry vanilla or something then, right? Because a float is typically a way of serving soda. Maybe to pass my take on the sacrilegious AI image Trump posted about him as a doctor. Dr. Jesus. Yeah, it was sacrilege. There is basically zero chance that he did not know what he was doing there, that he didn't realize he was depicting himself as God. Like, he knew what he was doing there. There's 100% chance that he knew that. Like, he's not retarded. Despite some appearances sometimes. He just can't help. He has a tremendous ego, and he can't help but post something that he sees that is self-aggrandizing. Even if it's objectively blasphemous, he doesn't actually care, like, himself. And so he kind of forgets that other people care. And so he forgot that a lot of people, even his base, would object to this and say, hey, whoa, 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 hold on. Why are we doing this? This is weird. It's creepy. Let's not do this. How long till the 10 plagues hit us? I don't know. I think the main plague that has a good chance of hitting the US is dollar collapse. Just because essentially what we did, essentially the situation in Iran stands to have a tremendously negative impact on the stability of the U.S. petrodollar. All right, so the U.S. dollar on a global stage is it maintains its stability and it places the global reserve currency by the U.S. Well, by the fact, let's say, let's just go by the fact that it is by the fact that all oil, I think just crude oil, but at least crude oil, possibly all oil products, are traded in dollars. Any international trades of oil are done in dollars. Now, how we maintain that, how the U.S. maintains that relationship, is by ensuring, at least on paper, that that the sea lanes essentially stay open. And those sea lanes include things like the Strait of Hormuz. And when Donald Trump told Europe and presumably China and everybody else, hey, if you care so much about the Strait of Hormuz, you open it. He was essentially reneging on the implicit agreement that the U.S. has with the rest of the world to keep the sea lanes open for oil shipping, in exchange for the world basically being a backstop for the U.S. dollar and therefore offsetting our tremendous, what would otherwise be hyperinflation. Because again, if all of the printed dollars, if all the dollars that had been printed in the last, let's say 20 years, let's call it 25 years, like since 9/11, since the global war on terror. Actually, you know what? No, let's limit it to 15. Let's go 15 because since the financial crash, let's go 20 years since the financial crisis. If those dollars being printed didn't have anywhere to go other than the U.S., if those dollars, all those printed dollars, were stuck in the U.S. Rather than distributed around the world, the U.S. would be under hyperinflation conditions, like Weimar Germany hyperinflation conditions. And if the demand for dollars disappears from the world stage, those all of those dollars will find nowhere to go but back to the US. The only thing to do with dollars will be to buy US goods, which will have a very, very short impact in increasing US exports over imports. It'll crash our ability to import, and then beyond that, all of those dollars will come right back to the U.S. Other countries will sell our bonds. We will effectively have all of the impact of 20-ish years of inflation hit all at once, and the value of the dollar craters. Like absolutely craters. Like it's already not in good shape. Like obviously, if you look at the price of any particular thing, it's really, the actual rate of inflation is way over the stated rate of inflation, and the stated rate of inflation is already obscene. So we're in for some really big trouble if that actually does happen. yeah, if that actually does happen, the U.S. is in for some incredible financial ruin. So let's hope that doesn't happen. I don't know what we can do to prevent it. There are some people speculating that the U.S. basically just selling oil to the world instead of the Persian Gulf is going to be offsetting this effect, but I don't actually think that's going to help tremendously much. But we'll see. I'm far from an expert in oil markets in particular or anything like that. So I don't know. Maybe we can hope. Hope. Sell a fish. Also, why not? Once I crack 100,000, we'll end. We'll stop doing this. Excuse me. So close. Do I think the government will enact the 25th Amendment or will seriously consider impeachment post-November? Impeachment, absolutely, because the Democrats will be in power, and a lot of Republicans are absolutely fed up and won't do nearly as much to stop it as they did the last time. The last times the Democrats tried to impeach Donald Trump. He's basically, at this point, tanked his winning coalition, and so he just doesn't have the support necessary to fend off the impeachment attempts that are absolutely coming down the pipe. Now, the only way that Trump is going to avoid impeachment, maybe not removal from office. I don't know if he'll actually be removed from office. That's a step further. But the only way he'll avoid impeachment is on the hope that he has won the loyalty of the deep state and the swamp by doing all this nonsense.
We thought you'd been killed.
Which, by the way, is possible. It is entirely possible that he has sufficiently appeased the deep state so they won't oppose him like they did last time. Cullet's Gate in Hook Coast in Darkwood. To Hook Coast in Darkwood.
You need to get to the Cullet's Gate in the middle of Darkwood.
Okay.
The gate will only open when its hunger for undead souls is sated.
Oh. As far as the 25th Amendment, I kind of doubt it. Oh, hello. Good lord. Yeah, 25th Amendment seems less likely to me. Because that's a big deal and it's relatively unprecedented. I have to go over here and do it, maybe? zappies. Okay, that didn't work. Not another one, is it? Why? Do we have to kill them on the platform or something? Weird. I will say, though, the other point about the AI image, the blasphemy thing, is that the idea that he didn't know is probably worse. Like, the possibility that he didn't realize what he was doing is way worse than than that he intentionally committed blasphemy. Right? If he in fact did not realize that that was supposed to be him as Jesus, then he's profoundly stupid. Like, way stupider than even the craziest Trump-deranged leftist thinks he is. Why isn't this working? You're calling for lights out? We're in the middle of a evil place. Of great evil. Why is this not working? Do I see any excommunication of Trump administration officials like J.D. Vance? Borders are. Maybe? Honestly, I kind of doubt it. Because maybe the USCCB could be convinced to do it. But first of all, it's worth noting that bishops' conferences don't actually have the authority to excommunicate. Bishops individually do. And so it's actually quite complicated how that would actually get accomplished, right? It would be a particular bishop, and it would be who, McElroy of D.C., I think, right? It's still McElroy, right? Or is that somebody else? Is that another diocese? Is it McElroy? I'm forgetting who the Archbishop of D.C. is. Of that den of vipers. I don't get it. What am I doing wrong here? Can we just keep going? I don't get it. Oh, I need to... Okay, there's a little meter at the top, isn't there? Okay.
get your combat multiplier even higher.
Okay, there we go. Anyway, like I said, I think it is unfortunately an ecclesiastical political issue. It is basically a political issue of excommunicating, say, the vice president or border czar, or which is a ridiculous title, honestly. But whatever. That's not the point. The point is that it would have to be a political move, and because it would have to be a political move, any single bishop would probably not be comfortable doing it alone, right? And of course, the bishops' conference has no formal authority to excommunicate. No. So it's kind of a weird situation, I guess. I would kind of like to see it, not out of any kind of spite or anything, and not even just because I dislike Vance or want him to lose his spot in the church or whatever. It's not even that. It's that I think that when properly considered, excommunication is a corrective tool. And it could, perhaps, be wielded effectively for that purpose. It's just, precarious. That's also, potentially dangerous. Come on now, I almost got him. Almost got it. Almost got it. This should do us, right? Ow. Didn't do it. Ow. So close. We've gone all the way through the night into morning, right? Dang it. People are still taking COVID tests? Oh, wait, you're in California. Of course you are. Never mind. Not necessarily to make fun of your state, it's just very silly. So, hold on. What's preventing you from reading comic books about a runny nose? Is it fear of dripping on the book? Because I get that, I suppose, but not something I would have really thought of, I guess. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. I am so sorry. Pray for your sister's mental health. So wears masks in public. Please tell me she at least doesn't wear one in the car. To be fair, you did at least have COVID in October. Well, I might have, but I wouldn't know. I've had some colds and flus and stuff that were substantially worse than the times I had COVID. There's that. So who knows? Maybe they were COVID. I don't know. Who cares? It's a cold at this point. It is literally just a... coronavirus is just a name for the common cold. I've been saying this for so many years. But yeah, I do understand not wanting to ruin 40-year-old comics. I get that. I get that. Yeah, especially if it's pretty bad and it's, you know, uncontrollable. Yeah, no, I gotcha. Come on, guys. Just go down, all of you. Guys, this is taking forever. Ugh. Is that it? Ugh. Is it? It's not going down, is it? The meter. Ugh. It almost looks like it is going down. It is going down. There we go. Good lord. Ugh. Okay. Hey, I made it.
We need
Yay.
to find the ruined abbey now.
Oh. Nope. Came from there. Hey,
Take
guardsman.
it carefully now.
Hello there, sire.
No thanks. Sponsor the guard's break. You're basically paying him off. Ooh, there's a serp. Oh, it's that. Is that the Kraken thing that we just fought? It looks like it. Ooh, a house. Lovely marital home. 29,000, huh? Yeah. Rent it. Why not? No? Okay, where we go?
Whoa!
Can I come in?
Hello, Supreme One.
Chains. Stuff.
Ooh.
What's this? Hope I didn't just steal that from that guy. Mean to, I promise.
What a hero he is.
The general store.
I greet you. Hooray!
Hey, Katie. What do you want? Apples, fish, and carrots. You're offering decent prices for all of those. Okay. Not a good price for potions. Red rose. Okay. Green apples. Carrots. Yeah. Decent price for tofu. Ooh, decent price for that ruby. Yeah. Good deal. Others, huh? The sock method, good lord. What are you selling? That is a very good price for those. Wonder if I can sell them back, though. Tonight's the night, guys. Good lord. I'm about to have just paid for this house. Just paid for the house and then some. Let's build up to, I don't know, 200,000? Anyway, while I am gaming this very dumb, this particular system, I will say that, okay, so I have a recent couple of videos that I think are actually quite relevant to the particular situation of Donald Trump's blasphemy and sacrilege. And one old one. Tell you what, let me write this down. Let me write down the old one so I don't forget. Because it's quite an old one. It's on Plato's Republic. On tyranny. I've shared it before. I've talked about it before, and there's a good chance you may have seen it before. But it's basically talking about how tyrants sort of get locked in. You know, how they essentially when a tyrant makes a decision, they kind of they cannot backtrack on that decision, because if they backtrack on their decision, they are admitting initial fault. And if they're admitting initial fault, that is a weakness, and tyrants, by their very nature, practically speaking, like pragmatically, cannot show weakness, because if they show any sort of weakness for any amount of time, that is a signal for their enemies, or even their tentative allies, to go after them. Right? So they can't do that. They can't backtrack. And this is why there are people like Donald Trump, who just absolutely cannot, for any reason, to any extent, back down from horrible mistakes.
A true hero.
Right. So yeah, this is one aspect, I think, of Trump's disordered personality. Another part of it, though, another couple of parts that I've been focusing on lately. One is the how do we determine who counts as a tyrant? I'm not talking about political tyrants. I'm talking about call it the personality type, if you want. I'm using Plato's descriptions here rather than the sort of modern political terms. Trump was probably a tyrant temperamentally and psychologically and ethically before he ever attained political power. Now, political power is why he is dangerous to other people. He was not actually a threat to anybody when he was a real estate mogul or a game show host, whatever.
Oh, your worshipness.
So he wasn't
Hello.
a tyrant in the, important sense, in the what we think of as the particular and significant political sense.
One.
But
to serve you.
For Plato, health augmentation, almost 50,000. Oh my god. Wow, that's really good. I want it. Experience. Ooh. 44,000. I'm gonna get both of these. They're really good. They're really good. Yeah, I'll just sell that one. Sharpening? Increased damage. Well, that's all. Okay, that's relatively simple, but okay.
They're saying in Hook Coast that Jack of Blades has returned.
You mustn't be here.
Closing!
Oh, okay. Darn.
What?
Known as Liberator, I believe.
He's from a royal family.
Oh, yes!
How do these people know this?
Yeah.
Your lordship, worshipped by all.
Enormous welcomes. Ready to help?
Yeah, I suppose. What you got? Those.
Best prices, well, sort of.
Let me actually see about gifts. No, can't cheese this one.
Vary from place to place, you know.
I want to go cheese the emeralds more. Morning.
Hooray!
That's come morning.
Hooray!
Here, if you'll be so kind.
Yes!
Liberator.
Grace says excommunication of Trump officials. I don't think likely solely for the reasons they're mostly already in the heretical branch of Catholicism. No, they're not.
Yay!
No, as far as I know, a lot of them are like JD Vance is in full communion with the church. As with there's a few. Marco Rubio, for example, is also at least I believe he is in licit canonical status, and a bunch of the Trump administration are actually Catholics. It's actually more than you would think.
Your lordship, worshipped by all.
Now, that isn't to say they aren't heretical in their beliefs, because I think Rubio at least probably is. Rubio at least probably has some heretical beliefs. Probably some significant ones. And drunken stupors into an art form. Hang tattoo. Is this just someone's home I'm poking around? Weird. I should use that one. Style that. Anyway.
Ooh.
The other interesting things I was talking about.
You've gotta get cut.
Oh, what? What are you doing here? Murderer. Ow. You got me.
Make the hurt go away.
Eyes of a killer.
Oh, yes.
Oh. That was interesting. Oh, no. Vance is not SSPX. Society of St. Pius X is basically the sedevacantist. Radtrad is not
Have a safe visit.
technically a does not technically mean out of communion with Rome. Right? You can be a radtrad and be a Catholic in good standing. It's the actual act of schism committed by the SSPX is the claim that there has not been a licit pope since Pius X. Or, in some cases at least, that there has not been a licit pope since Benedict XVI. That's rarer. That's a rarer position, but that's like people like Patrick Coffin. That's his view. I think still. Fortunately.
We're all so
that in other words that Benedict XVI didn't licitly step down, and so remained pope, and so the election of Francis was illegitimate, and so therefore the election of Leo was illegitimate, or something like that. That's a rarer view. More typically, you find this idea that Pope St. Pius X was the last legitimate pope. Because of defects of canonization defects of form in the conclaves, I believe,
Ah, your lordship, we are...
during and after Vatican II, the Second Vatican Council.
He
But
means
no, to my
business.
knowledge, that is not Vance's position, nor membership. I think he is just a Catholic in good standing. Otherwise, same with Rubio. I would call Opus Dei Radtrads, but they are, as far as I know, in full communion with Rome. They're not schismatics. I could be a little bit wrong about that. I'm not actually completely sure. It is, I don't know enough about Opus Dei
Well, all right.
to know for sure whether they are in union with Rome. I think they are, though. I'm fairly certain they are. But anyway, yeah, there are some Catholics in the Trump administration who could, in theory, be excommunicated. The trouble is, either the Pope can do it, which he probably won't, because he doesn't actually want to interfere with American politics, I don't think. Both because he doesn't see it as his place, and because it would be evangelistically counterproductive, I think, because there is, of course, a fear, especially around the world, that an American Pope would be too involved in American politics. Which is a legitimate concern, right? So I think he wants to avoid that image as best he can. But then also, okay, so if the Pope's not going to do it, then their bishop in particular could. And the bishop of all of these officials, I think, would be the Bishop of DC, which I think would be McElroy, right? If I'm not mistaken. The trouble there is that, yeah, if a bishop excommunicates somebody, you can, if you're shady enough, go around that. And just go to a different diocese. Which you should not do. That is against canon law. And any other bishop should respect the excommunication, but they might not. Right? And this is a problem that we've had with the various Democratic politicians, the pro-choice Democratic Catholic politicians, the likes of Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, etc., who have been effectively excommunicated by their own bishops, but who have gone elsewhere and have received communion and are treated as Catholics.
Oh, greatness.
Wow.
So, and this is mostly just because secular society does not recognize how the canonical structures of the church actually work. That a proclamation of excommunication by a person's ordinary bishop is binding upon the whole church. People, like secular people, don't realize that's how it works. And so if one bishop says, no, you are denied communion, and then they are seen receiving communion somewhere, it is seen more like a particular cleric saying something outspoken against a particular politician, rather than a formal canonical penalty, which is what it is. So, yeah, anyway, I think that it's unfortunately politically inexpedient for Catholic politicians to be excommunicated. I'd love to see it in a lot of cases. I would love to see it done for the likes of J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, etc. Because again, they are living in manifest grave sin by their policies, by their statements, etc. But I would also like to see the same thing applied to the various pro-choice self-proclaimed Catholics that we see in American politics as well. He says there are specific parts of Opus Dei that are not in communion with Rome. Can't remember exactly. Just take a gander at Shannon Vavik's content on Opus Dei. Oh, yeah, I'm not overly familiar with it. I do know of a few basically sedevacantist schismatic sects. In fact, there's one right down the street. There is a convent of nuns, the Sisters of St. Thomas Aquinas, who even run a private Catholic school. which I thought very hard about sending my kids to. But then I realized, wait a minute, hold on. These guys are Sedevacantists, they're schismatics. And that would be honestly counterproductive, sending my kids to a school that is going to treat our church as illegitimate. And even our parish is illegitimate. Like, I can't do that. As good of an education as it might be, I could not sacrifice their spiritual well-being for something like that. I'm just gonna wait outside the shop. But yeah, the other parts about the other things that the videos I've posted more recently that are particularly relevant is the one on despair and hope. That was my latest stupid little podcast. That one's already linked in the description already down there. And that one, in that I speculate that Donald Trump, among his, I'm sure, many sins, one of them at the root, I think, is despair. And specifically, it would be despair at spiritual goods, or despair at salvation. He said on several occasions that he doesn't think he's going to make it to heaven. He doesn't really think that anything can save him. Now, excuse me. Even if he is in a state of mortal sin, and I expect he probably is, that isn't the case, right? It's not true that he cannot be saved, he cannot go to heaven. Because God can reach out and save anyone. We just have to accept that help. The trouble with the sin of despair, thinking that you are beyond salvation, is that entices one, maybe even compels one, to reject that offer of salvation. And it's a kind of self-fulfilling prophecy in that way. And this is Aquinas' argument for why despair may in fact be the worst of sins. What makes a group of nuns particularly schismatic instead of Sedevacantist values they hold, that they are not in communion with Rome. They're not formally part of the Church, of the Catholic Church. They're non-Catholic. They say they're Catholic, but they're not part of the Church. They're not inducted into a religious order properly, or one that's recognized by the Church. They deny the authority of the Pope and the College of Cardinals and the bishops. They are Catholic in most doctrines, but not in union with the formal structure of authority, which is what matters to determine whether someone is Catholic or not. But you can be a Catholic and be a heretic, right? You can be a Catholic and believe all sorts of false things about Catholicism. You're a bad Catholic, but you are one. You're still a Catholic. By contrast, you can believe everything that the Church teaches, but not recognize the authority of the bishops, and therefore not be a Catholic, despite believing everything the Church teaches. That's common, actually. Probably a good example of this would be Calvin Robinson, the English former Anglican priest, who is, I believe, now what's called an Old Catholic, which is again another Sedevacantist heretical offshoot from, actually they split off in Vatican I from the First Vatican Council, late 19th century. And so he's joined that because he essentially doesn't want to submit to the authority of a Catholic bishop. At least according to what he has said online. Which is why he is not Catholic, despite believing, as far as I've been able to tell, in terms of doctrine, he basically believes everything the Church teaches.
Shops are now open!
Yay!
Liberate. Oh.
Yes. Let us exploit, shall we? My God. Emeralds would net me a little bit, but not much. Not worth doing. Now the rest of these aren't worth doing. It's the sapphires. That's worth it. I'm getting 385 profit each. God. I'm going for 500,000. I'm gonna need it, frankly. Anyway, is that a reasonably sufficient explanation of what's what makes someone a schismatic apart from being a heretic? Those are different things. A heretic can still be a Catholic. It's just you're a bad Catholic. A schismatic can believe everything the church teaches, but still not be a Catholic because you're outside of that formal authority structure. Let's sell those too. Why not? Worth selling. Buy those too. Buy those back. Hell yeah. Oh, whoops. I'm sure this is fascinating to watch, but we can keep chatting as well, though. I need to focus too much here. Anyway, like I said, the other thing that this sin of despair is, I think,
Where have you been?
really quite characteristic of what I'm gonna save because this is quite silly. Euro save, really? Oh, okay. Do that and save too. Interesting. All right. Can't world save. All right. That's fine, I guess.
Good to see you.
Saves my money at least. All right, let's see what's up. I guess I gotta finish this tonight.
That magical barrier wasn't there before. It explains what I just found in the guild.
Mom?
Meet me in Maisie's quarters. I found a book that may help.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, well, that was worth trying. Yes. Let me see if I got rent from my house over here. I'll check the other houses. I wonder if I can world save now. No. Really? Strange.
Ah, your lordship, we are blessed.
Anyway, so yeah, there is this this particular sin of despair. Right? But then also, the other aspect of this is a peculiar kind of anti-Catholicism, which is something that I've talked about before as well.
Something isn't right.
In my previous podcast discussion, the one with Adam from a couple of weeks ago, from before Easter. But then also, speed. It's fine. $54,000 experience. Good lord. That'll work. Alright, yeah, that'll do. Maze's Quarters.
Liberator.
Uh-huh.
The title suits you.
Hooray! Hooray!
Another tattoo.
Hooray!
Hooray. I love story. Guess it's downstairs?
Hooray!
Oh,
Hello.
Imsim, short version is there's a bunch of nuns near my house. They are schismatic. They're not technically Old Catholic, but they're very similar to Old Catholic. They're much more doctrinally sound though than a lot of Old Catholics. It's just that they're outside the authority structure of the church, and so they're not actually Catholic.
The book! Don't forget the book!
Fuck. Really? Again? In the middle of the Heroes Guild? History of the Guild, is that it? Jack of Blades? Oh, this book. Arban's Thaumaturgica. This ancient volume describes the forgotten rituals and magic of Hook Coast, including ways of erecting and disabling force fields. It is written in an arcane language you can't decipher. Perhaps the Guildmaster will be able to read it. Old Catholic are Sedevacantists, but Sedevacantists from the First Vatican Council, rather than the Second Vatican Council. Oh god, the extra gold acquired, I didn't realize that was from the trading that I did, not just part of the quest. Wow, okay, cool. Continue.
I have a quest card from your mother. Quickly, come to the map room and speak to me.
Yeah, but the Old Catholic, by the way, Old Catholic is, as I was mentioning, the same sort of schismatic faction as it's the one that Calvin Robinson joined, rather than actually becoming Catholic. Yes, so I believe they deny papal infallibility, and so therefore they reject the ecclesiastical structure of the church largely. They basically deny, because they deny papal infallibility, they deny the authority of the current institutional structure of the church as well, more broadly.
And we're now on our way to the guild library.
Bunch. Anyway. Yeah, this particular kind of anti-Catholicism that we see is really put on display by Trump's criticism of Pope Leo, as well as, I will even say, J.D. Vance's sort of backing up this position.
As liberator,
And saying, "Oh, well, maybe the Pope should just stay out of politics." This is essentially the what's called the heresy of Americanism, which is to place the temporal authority as being over and above and of greater significance than the eternal, than the Church. Whereas these are meant to be separate domains of authority, with the eternal authority, the Church, guiding the temporal authorities.
Hooray!
And so, if anything, the Church is above the state, or sorry, the state, but temporal authorities, not in a commanding kind of way,
A powerful man.
He's not on his own backside.
but in terms of just
Wonder what he's up to.
in terms of properly ordered authority, something like you would expect with academic authority, for example. Should J.D. Vance be denied communion? Yeah, I was talking about that actually quite a bit. I think that yes, it's just that the precise political feasibility of denying an American politician communion is really difficult to make stick. Because the people with canonical authority would be either the Pope or his bishop. And if his bishop excommunicates him, like I was saying, then yes, that's a canonical penalty, but it's not going to be obviously recognized by most people as a canonical penalty, unless you're deep into this sort of thing. And so, he will be seen receiving communion from his favorite priest, or a priest in a different diocese, and there's nothing that his bishop can practically do about that, even having excommunicated him. And while yes, he would be committing grave sin, he would be committing sacrilege, and he would be in violation of canon law, that's not a big deal to most onlookers. And so it would not necessarily have the effect that excommunication is supposed to have, which would be essentially a call to repentance. And the Pope's probably not going to do it because I don't think he's actually interested in wading into U.S. politics, aside from espousing obvious principles like he already has. So I don't think the practicality is there, and it's the same reason why I don't think that I think that a lot of Democratic pro-choice politicians haven't been formally excommunicated. I think it's a canonical mess. Yes, yeah. If the bishop formally promulgates his excommunication, then it's done. It's a canonical penalty that the bishop can unilaterally impose.
And my salutations, Guildmaster.
Hey!
The only oversight to that would be the Pope, I believe.
Friendly
Not mistaken.
hero. Good.
We, as Americans, would like to see the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops get involved and do something, but they don't have the canonical authority to do that as a bishops' conference. Only the particular bishop has the authority. The Conference of Catholic Bishops is just that. It's a conference. It's a place for them to hang out and talk to each other and sort of coordinate their individual efforts. It has no authority. How could it get lifted? A simple confession. Yes, but then it would need to be lifted by the bishop. So typically, in a case of formal excommunication, you would seek confession with the bishop. So the bishop could then lift your status of excommunication all at once. Right? You would still need to discuss it with the bishop, and you could say, "Hey, I've gone to confession. I have repented of my sins," and it's then up to the bishop's discretion whether to lift the excommunication or not. Typically, they would. I'm not a bishop, so I don't. I'm not going to say whether they would or not. I don't know.
Liberator.
Yeah, that's essentially how this all works. It's quite a thing. It's quite a hefty penalty. It's just that
Hail, friend.
I don't think that it would be recognized as such a hefty penalty, despite it being one.
All right.
What should JD... Oh, this is a more interesting question. Okay, what should JD Vance do in his position to remain a Catholic in good standing? Resign or openly oppose Trump? I think the latter, honestly. I do genuinely think that he is in the best position of anyone to just openly oppose the president's decisions. Because he is independently elected, and Trump can't fire him. Trump can fire and even prosecute a lot of his cabinet, his appointed officials, a lot of the people who might want to oppose his agenda but maybe feel they can't for practical reasons. This is presumably why Tulsi Gabbard hasn't done anything.
Wow!
Right, hasn't opposed him or even objected.
Take it carefully.
It's probably because he would fire her, and then he probably has something else on her. JD Vance does not have that problem because you can't fire the vice president.
No one can stop.
And he's not running for re-election on the same ticket, so he'd be running on his own. Get him impeached and replace Trump. I mean, maybe you might be able to do that, but even if you don't do that, he can at least be a vocal a point of opposition within the administration. Even still, knowing that the vice president has really limited authority, has extremely limited authority to actually do anything, that voice of opposition within the administration would have a significant impact for other people being able to stand up and say no.
Yay!
Would it be considered sedition to write to Vance, convince him to get Trump impeached so he can take the place? No, I'm sure there are people doing that. Absolutely not sedition. That is well, to be fair, it might be a conflict of interest on Vance's part. And so he might be a little too scrupulous to do that sort of thing. But given other things he's said and done, maybe not. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm going back to the Heroes Guild. As I was saying, though, I think that I think there are probably plenty of people trying to convince him to do that already. And quite frankly, after this election, I fully expect the Democrats to sweep at least the House, maybe the Senate, and are very likely to push for impeachment. And I don't see the Republicans as putting up as much resistance as they did last time, even if it's for more meaningless bullshit. Because it was meaningless bullshit last time. The Russiagate thing is complete nonsense. But look, a lot of people stood by Trump because they recognized it was nonsense, and he stood up for them, or at least so it seemed. But now, Trump has shattered his own coalition, and I don't see the Republicans standing up for Trump like they did last time. So I think there's a real chance that he is impeached and removed. Or if not removed, he is at least impeached.
Liberate. You've
see what you got. Now, I wonder if I can make obscene amounts of money doing stupid things here. Or if I can just get a Master Longsword. 127... Oh, no, 32,000. Okay, that's decent, actually. Master Greatsword. That is ugly! Ooh! Ooh! Ugh! That is an ugly weapon. Look at that thing. Ugh! It's kind of like a frickin' Urukai blade. What is that? Ugh! Brother, ugh! I'm gonna Master Longsword. Screw it. This is obscene. Master Longbow. That's tempting too, frankly. Yeah, I'm getting it. Heck yeah. Others? No. Gifts? Chocolates! Any good prices? No. Resurrection Files? God, you're overcharging for those. Will potions I can afford, but okay, that's actually a good deal. Buy all these. What's that, brother? It's the, yeah, it's the sword, I guess, allegedly. Look at this. Brother, what's that, brother? Oh, the iron one is like it too. That's gross. Dude, that's gross. Okay, sorry. Why can't I buy plate? Here. Yeah. Okay. I think that he's not likely to be removed, but it is at least possible. Answer the question. Imsimp asks, how do you think your family would react if one day you went into the backyard with a stick, started swinging it around, making noises, and playing pretend Fable, talking to yourself in voices? Wouldn't be that weird. Kids would probably join in. Frankly. I've done weirder things.
Oi! Stop being so annoying, you runt!
What? Excuse me? No, you. Alright, inventory. Weapons. Wait, why do I have this? Why do I have this? I should sell some of this crap. Ooh, it has 3 magic spots. Augment. So also gets 3. Not flame for that one. Piercing. Sharpening. And I'm going to wait to get the health one. If I can find a health one, it's going to go on this. That'll be very nice. Look at that. It does not look very different. That either. Okay, cool. Cool anyway. Amsim says, I was reading some ads in the 80s Punisher comics, and it has some early tabletop game ads, and it says, do you love playing pretend as a kid? Well, you still can. Embody one of your characters. Or make your own and prepare to dive into deadly dungeons. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That is absolutely what tabletop RPGs are all about. More so what LARPs are about, but that's not as hyper popular. But yeah, no, that's absolutely right. That's exactly what's going on there. 100%. 100%. I want to go to Oakvale. See if the shop there has better augment. Art makes you wish you grew up in the 80s. I mean, there's a lot of 80s nostalgia in the air right now. Speaking to your initial question from the beginning of the stream, whether you can feel nostalgia for a decade or a time period that you didn't live in. Yeah, I do it all the time. I think most of us probably do. Like, I feel nostalgia for the 80s. I was born in 91. I feel nostalgia for the 13th century. I was born in the 20th century. So, yeah, I mean, all of these things, very much so. Very, very possible.
This kind of
Ooh.
joy, even Jack can't destroy.
Aw, thanks, honey.
Oh, I love a man with a nice beard. Oh, there you are, my darling.
Nice. Yeah, so... Hold on, actually. Let me check those plate legs. Inventory. Clothing. Leggings. Oh, yeah, I have a guard suit. Let's see. Plate mail. I have gauntlets, and I have the legs. Don't have boots. Guard uniform. Wow, that looks very silly. Hey, why get rid of her?
Wow.
Do not be jealous of the nameless NPC.
I'm pleased to serve you.
The barely a game mechanic NPC. Listen, of all the various romance options in various RPGs I've played, this is by far the shallowest, mechanically speaking. I could try and make some money off of that, but Erica lives up to the fan fiction version of her. You're sleeping on the couch tonight. I don't want to sleep on the couch tonight. I don't want to sleep on the couch. No. But I do. Gosh. All right. Oh, that's actually a better deal. That's a much better deal. Enough of both of these, I think.
They're saying in Hook Coast that Jack of Blades has returned. Wow.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
All
Jack
right.
of Blades.
Ah, Liberator. Oh, woohoo! I think we can do a special offer for you, sir.
What do we got then? Main mail. You don't have plates. Oh, I have them. Or so. Plate chess piece. That's much better than what I got. Yeah, I'll get it. Plate boots.
Oh!
Let's see what we got. Clothing. Suits. Oh, I don't have a helmet.
Hook Coast. Nobody goes there. Nobody comes from there. All right. I think
You
we can do
have
special
a
offer
helmet.
for you, sir.
No, I just have the bright chainmail.
Hook Coast. Nobody goes there. Nobody comes from there.
Also, I will say, our couch is kind of falling apart. We need a new couch. So, I'm just saying. Plate mail. Wow.
I hope your visit is swell. All right.
Wow. Okay, that's. You know how I was talking about modern armor sensibilities, modern armor aesthetics? This absolutely maximizes that design philosophy. Good lord. Look how, like, okay, look at the triangular silhouette here. Right? The incredibly broad shoulders, narrowing to a chest, narrowing to a waist. Yes, it flares out, but it doesn't bow. And it flares out through the legs. Right? Look at the big boots and the big baggy pants and everything. Again, all of this is extremely modern aesthetically. Also, also musculature, right? It's like a muscle cuirass. It's got like the pectorals and the basically like a six pack going on, which is very much a again that's a modern and in some rare cases ancient sensibility. Yeah, I know the Spartans did it, but it was relatively rare. Historically speaking.
Oh yes.
It is, wow, that is a spiked pauldron. That is, good lord, that is. Whew, boy. All right, I honestly, I can't complain. It is, it does look pretty darn cool.
Wonderful.
But again, like I said, it's a modern aesthetic rather than an ancient or medieval aesthetic.
I want some ale, please.
Actually, wait, where do I want to go? The only place in medieval Europe to find it would be it meaning muscle cuirass would be the Byzantine Empire, but it was mainly parade armor by the Middle Ages. They mainly wore chainmail and scale mail. Yeah. All right, let's go back to the guild. Let's pick up this next quest, and then we'll probably wrap it for the night relatively soon.
I have a quest card from your mother. Quickly, come to the map room and speak to me.
I know, thanks. I'm gonna save. I'm actually gonna world save right now because I can. Anyway, though, yeah, it's
Hooray!
Anyway, what I was saying earlier about the kind of specific kind of anti-Catholicism we've been seeing in the U.S., especially lately, which is really a resurgence of an old kind of anti-Catholicism, but it's a really common one in the U.S. It's almost essential to the character of the United States as a nation. But anyway, it is this assumption that the secular order is above the supernatural order,
Quest card of the guild for you.
and that religion, Catholicism in particular, but religion in general, is meant to be subservient to secular society. It is a binding factor within a secular society rather than something that overarches it. Which is why you see these fears of dual loyalty for Catholics. Now for Jews, although that's a relatively new kind of fear for Jews.
Liberator.
About Jews.
The title suits you.
Go away. But the it's and I will also say for Muslims as well. This applies to Muslims as well. Yeah, it's a unique kind of religious bigotry. It is a secular kind of intolerance. To go back to a video from a couple of weeks ago. But again, you can see this very, very clearly in a lot of these statements, right? That Trump is mad at Pope Leo, not for what he said, but for the fact that he said it. He presumed to speak to him, to somebody who in Trump's mind ought to be of higher authority than the mere Pope.
I can tell
That's the problem.
This is terrible. Jack has captured your mother again.
Again.
I spoke to her briefly today. She told me about the sword and the existence of a key to unlock it. Jack can never be allowed to succeed. You must stop him getting the key from Hook Coast. There is a quest card for you, but if you choose to take it, you will forsake your other tasks. This is too important.
Oh, is this the end game?
Very well. Finish what work you have, then return to me when you're ready for your greatest challenge. But hurry.
Oh, this might be the end game.
Liberator. And
I think this is the end game.
Library.
I should just... Alright, I'm going to spend the rest of tonight doing side quests. What there are.
Come on, we'll get left behind.
I'm going to start next time doing a few side quests, and then I'm going to wrap it up. I guess I'm going to finish the game next week. Wow, look at that. Look at that! The sick child. I still didn't find the fourth frickin' mushroom. Somebody look this up, please. Where's the fourth mushroom? Hidden bounty hunt. Oh, right. There is I have a clue. At least one. Apple of Scorn, not going to do. Chicken kicking, I already did, kind of. Book collection. I can go do that. That's always fun. Fishing competition. Okay, so in the stone. This one. I can go try that. Donate Temple of Light. I can do that too. Not going to do that one. Hero dolls. I don't know where to find them. That's no tax. Yeah, let's go to the Temple of Light. The Temple of Avo. Yeah.
Come on, swords, axes, shield. We got it.
Okay. Wait, I have a... Right, that's right. I have a house here. I think that's mine. I think I rented
Archery
it, right?
competition now open. We're not here forever, you know.
Oh, I'll do it.
Welcome to the archery contest, hero. Why not give it a try? Special prizes are on offer.
Yeah. Let's
First,
do it.
stand in the... You then have 60 seconds. The targets are worth different points. And in case you're thinking of sneaking closer, don't. Also, no using magic. That's last but not least.
No shooting you. Well, that's boring. Let's do it. Oh, man. I need to lead. Oh, come on. Sorry, I'm locked in. Time's up.
Weapon down, hero. Let's see what score you got, and if you've won anything.
Let's see.
Excellent! You've beaten the highest score.
Wonderful. Treasure clue.
Let's see if your skills live up to your reputation.
They do. All right, moving on. Stop by my little rental home here. Collect my cash. Yeah, I don't think I did the one, the fishing spot, demon door. I'll check that.
Liberator.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, obviously. Forgot I didn't buy it. Okay, let's go to the guild. In front of the guild demon door. Okay. Go to the picnic area. I've done that one.
From your mother. Quickly, come to the map room and speak to me.
So then, Liberator.
The giggle expression.
Like the look of this chap.
Hey!
Oh, I don't know if I've done that one. So maybe I did do this one. Alright, if not, I gotta go to the picnic area and I'll try that one then. Over keys, huh? I don't have 20. I wonder if I can just open this demon door if I'm actually there yet. Oh no, I must have done that already. Okay. Talk to him.
Your path is dark. Only a light will reveal it. And you're not bright enough.
Really? Dang. I have to do more good. Oh well. Alright, I'm gonna go to the picnic area. I'm gonna try and giggle at the lady. Yeah? No. What did I miss? Oh. Really? You sure your lantern? Is that actually it? There's no way. There's no way it's that simple.
Your path is illuminated. Fancy that. You worked it out.
I thought about that, but I thought it was too stupid. Wow. Okay, well, that was cool. Making friends. What's this then? Elixir of life. Nice. This is very cool. Book of spells. What's that do? Owl tattoo. Where is books? There are books. Picking friends. Among the gems of wisdom contained in this book are these. It is generally considered ill-mannered to hit people. Albion is a materialistic place. Shower people with gifts, and they'll love you for it. And performing good deeds will make everyone appreciate you much more. Who'd have thought? Berserk. Sends the hero into a frenzy. Force push. Oh, this is just a description of all of the spells. Why do I need this? Why do I need this at all? This is in the level up screen. Arban's Thaumaturgica, that's the one I need. Jacob Blades. He is known by no one, and he is known by all. He is said to be as ancient as the Old Kingdom, and yet he has the strength of 10 heroes. Some say he is not of this world, and has come to us only for the pleasure of death and destruction. Some say he is but a legend, and the mask has covered the faces of dozens over the centuries, all claiming to be the same Jacob Blades. Whatever he is, he prevails in stories and in nightmares, and he is feared, even by the guild. That's an end boss, that's what that is. A love story. Oh no, this is, I've gotten that one before. Okay. Well, alright then. There's that. Now I'm gonna go to the picnic area. Jeez.
I have a quest card from your mother. Quickly, come to the map room and speak to me.
I know, Mr. Bossman. I know. Anyway.
We're now heading for the training area.
A friendly face there.
Anyway, yeah. The other video that I just released recently was another Star Wars video, another one of my my EU series. This one on a book from New Jedi Order, Conquest. Specifically, I'm looking at the title, of course, being Anakin's Cheeky Monotheism. Anakin here not being not Anakin Skywalker, but Anakin Solo. And this is talking about how he kind of comes to this conclusion. Oh, right. I'm gonna go that way. Oh, that was silly. But this is not to say, by the way, that he actually is a straightforward monotheist, but rather that he begins this sequence of metaphysical speculation that leads inexorably to monotheism.
Marvelous.
Great stuff! Whoa!
Did I get this one already? I got this one already.
What a
Hello? Yeah.
Oh, yeah!
Hot Coast is changing. The people there are under a new spell. The
Sorry.
word of Jack. No, I didn't quite get that.
That face has seen some action.
Oh, that's not right.
Ha!
Don't hurt me, please.
Oh, that was
Oh,
scare.
yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I must have already gotten this one. Okay, Trader in Barrow Fields. I already bought one from him, I think. Let me just check. What's the demon door here about? It's one where I gotta get fat.
No. Another book. Another I will eat.
No, okay. Alright, so yeah, I gotta talk to, at least I think, I have to talk to the trader here, and he'll at least tell me. Maybe.
Yay!
That was the last one, I'm afraid. I'd make it.
Have a good day.
That didn't help. Okay, this is the last one. I'm only counting 3 there. And I think I've only gotten 3.
Oh,
I got one from him.
yeah.
I got one from the giggling lady. I got one from the Adventurers Guild fishing. Let me see. Got that one. Crater and Barrow Fields. Told you of 2 other mushroom locations. What about the 4th one? I need 4. I'm lost on this. Shoot. Is it actually in the woods? Let me try.
I have a quest card from your mother. Quickly, come to the map
was all
and
4.
speak to me.
No.
Liberator.
Crater and Barrow Fields. The lady in the picnic area. And the guild's demon door. That's 3. What am I missing?
There is an important quest card at the guild for you.
Greater the man he sold it to that was throwing a party. Wait, where was he throwing the party, though? What am I missing? Okay. Hey, nice. Oh, man in the guild woods. This guy?
Hey, hi. Look.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Could you do me a massive favour?
Maybe.
My name's Cyril. Me and some friends had a little party here the other night, and I met this drop-dead gorgeous girl from Oakvale. Oh,
okay.
Myra. I mean, she was a stunner. At least I think she was. But I also thought the trees around us were running around on little chocolate legs, if you see what I mean. Anyway, I really want to see her again. Well, probably. I mean, maybe it was just the mushrooms and she's actually just an ugly stick victim. Even if she isn't, what if she doesn't like me?
Oh my god. Why are you so pathetic?
I'm going to take my chances all the same. Please, take this letter to her in Oakvale.
What, I think I know who you're talking about.
I must know how she feels. The suspense is killing me. Oh, one more thing. Don't try to pass the letter off as your own. I've spent weeks perfecting its sublime poetry.
Now I actually need to read the letter, don't I? No? Where's it? Is it an inventory? Letter from Cyril. Oh boy. Sweaty handwriting. My heart beats for you, Myra. You set my soul and blood on fire. Your eyes are like 2 glowing suns, and your bosom like 2 glorious buds. Please say that you do so love me, for I can truly say I do love thee. Please let me be your groom, or I shall blame it on the mushroom. Lord, this guy. Oh, okay. Actually, wait, hold on. Oh yeah, I forgot. I have a look at yourself kind of button. Forgot that button. Oh yeah. Um, or I guess this reminds me of when my mom would play the original Tomb Raider games, and I would sit next to her with a full packet of printed out guides that would walk her through the game in order to get all the secrets and figure out all the puzzles. It was really stressful, and I'm sitting there, and mom's like, "Read it again! I didn't get it." And after failing 5 times, now to get to read it herself. Yep. Yeah, of course. Oh gosh. See, I miss the days when there was stuff to figure out like this. Now, that isn't to say I can figure everything out, but you weren't expected to, right? There were strategy guides, there was word of mouth, there was all that sort of stuff. Now that's all basically gone. At least it seems to me. There is not much of that in modern games. Kind of sad. This has to be during the day, doesn't it?
Hey, it's you.
My dearest one.
Oh, hey, Whisper. What are you doing here?
I'm glad you came. I wanted to talk to you before I go. You hadn't heard I'm leaving the guild.
Oh.
My brother wanted me to be a great hero, but...
Do you want to help me, maybe?
Well, you were always one step ahead of me. I had to work so hard to live up to his expectations. But you always made everything seem easy. It wasn't till you spared my life in the arena that I realized how jealous I was of you. And what a good friend you've been. I'm sorry I was so tough on you in training.
Oh.
The truth is, you've always been the better hero. Just don't tell my brother I said that.
He just walks away. No more teleports or nothing.
My heart skips a beat.
Coin golf, play it here.
The sun rays in the middle of the night. Kind of weird. There's the fight club.
Who'll fight me?
Not what I'm looking for. Anyway. So yeah, Eric, I don't know if you actually wound up watching the video, but the Anakin's cheeky monotheism one. You might find it interesting because I have a whole section in the middle about Dovev. Dovev being Erica's original character from mostly from Star Wars: The Old Republic that we back when we played in a Jedi guild, and he was essentially a bit of a heretic, sir. Technically speaking, by Jedi standards, because he was philosophically inclined, and so came to the correct conclusions that there must be something ultimate and behind and beyond the Force, and that something must be essentially God, must have the standard array of divine attribute. Which is just, correct. That is the correct conclusion.
Do you think I'm pretty? I met this man at a party in the guild woods who says I am.
Okay.
I think he might be in love with me. You haven't spoken to him, have you?
I have, actually.
Oh, is this from you?
No. Why would it be from me? No.
I don't believe it. He really does love me. He says my eyes are like 2 glowing suns.
Wait for the next line.
I have to let him know I feel the same.
Did you just skip the next line?
Could you take this to him? Oh, I can't wait to tell Fiona about this.
And now I have to read it. Union Jack undies are just very strange. Alright. Let's see. Oh, of course I love you. I shall never forget that night we spent in the Guild Woods. Well, I can't remember it all that well, but I do know that it was special. My spirit soars whenever I think of you, Cyril. I very much look forward to seeing what you look like. It's all so hazy. We shall soon meet, my love, for I am forever yours, Myra. How sweet. Bizarre and disturbing, but cute. Yeah, let's just recall straight to the Guild Woods. Why not? We can do that. Hey there, buddy.
She really likes me. Oh, and I bet she's really beautiful.
Yeah, okay.
Have this for your trouble. I have no more need for intoxicants, for I have found love.
How sweet. I'm gonna go heal a sick child with that. About time. Oh, I have rent to collect, eh? Let's go do that. I do also have a significant amount of money, so the amount of rent here is kind of middling. Despite this being a fully upgraded and decorated home. Oh well. Hi, witch lady. There you go.
Ah, yes. Good. These will be perfect. Just give me a few hours and, well, what do you know? I've got some of the potion already. Mind like a sieve, I tell you. I'll hang on to these mushrooms if it's all the same to you. I'll just, put them somewhere safe. Yes. Bye now.
I could have just given you money. You really did just want me to go on an errand for you, didn't you? Gosh, these fetch quests, dude, like... Gosh, that's actually another video I need to make. I've been thinking about making this video for years now, and I keep forgetting to actually do it. But it's that, that these fetch quests like this, especially like the really significant chained ones. Think the Big Goron Sword quest from Ocarina of Time. Like the perfect example of this. You know, person A needs something from person B needs something from person C needs something from person D. In order to get the thing from person A, you got to get the thing from person D to then to pass it along, go through the whole chain, and sometimes even it loops back around. You have to make the whole thing work out, right? All of these kinds of side quests, all these kinds of fetch quests are made completely obsolete by the existence of money. The technology of money, the whole point of the thing is to facilitate indirect exchange. Right? Because if A wants something B has, B wants something C has, and C wants something A has, in order for them to all get what they want, they would all three of them have to get together simultaneously and have what's called a triple coincidence of wants. They would have to all three of them exchange in a sort of rotation pattern. No, they can't do that. Like, that doesn't usually happen. What they really wind up doing is A buys something from B with and exchanges money, a universally recognized fungible token, a store of value, something that they can exchange freely, and then using that money they'll exchange for the thing that they want from the other person. From A wants something from C, right? And they'll buy it from C with money, or that sort of thing. Which is the straightforward answer to these kinds of questions, rather than stupid fetch quests.
Yes!
Okay. Here you go. Yay! That face.
I still can't believe the old woman really helped us.
Thuggish.
I'll never join another witch-burning mob after this.
Oh. Okay.
We won't forget your kindness, hero. Good luck with your quests.
Hooray!
Hooray.
Hooray!
Right. Alright, I think that the last thing we will do tonight... This way. Well, actually, first, let me see if the shop over here has a plate helmet.
Ah, Liberator! Ha!
And then we'll do a couple
We
of
can do a
books.
special offer for you, sir.
Nope.
Take my advice. Stay away from the tavern. Daylight robbery, those prices.
Oh, good to know. Go to the nice part of town. I thought there was a shop here. Oh yeah, there is. There is.
Well met to you again, sir. Oh, what can I do you for? You're sure to find something to suit you.
He's got a lot of stuff, good lord. He has nothing. No head slot. Will user stuff, huh? Weapons? Master crossbow? Soulless greatsword. What is that? Flame health and sharpening augmentation. Legendary soulless of the mystical dragon fighters. This weapon is held in awe by sword masters and combatants of Albion. That greatsword is still ugly as sin. Soulless greatsword. I don't like greatswords though. I want just a sword. What's he got? Gifts. I could do the stupid thing again, but I'm not gonna. I got enough stuff for right now. Health augmentation, there it is. 502,000. Jesus. I already have a Thunder Hero doll. I already have a doll of me. Yeah.
Hook Coast.
Looks oriental? Maybe a bit. Yeah, I could see that, I suppose. Not that one. This one. There we go. In essence, what did Avicenna teach or ponder?
All right.
What had made him so great? He was prolific. He was probably the most prolific Islamic philosopher.
Liberator. Am I saying it right?
He discussed a lot of topics, and especially, like, most notably, did a commentary on a bunch of the works of Aristotle. I think maybe all of the works of Aristotle, if I'm not mistaken. But he had extensive commentaries on the works of Aristotle, which really, I mean, that had a great impact on the likes of Aquinas, because Aquinas, first of all, did similarly, but then also did a lot of specific responses to Avicenna. I mean, the Summa Contra Gentiles is essentially a response to Avicenna.
You're ace.
Do you have a donation there, hero? Oh, look! How to make friends. Just the thing to teach the children some manners.
Yes, yes. I don't actually know if he wrote anything concerning Christianity. I've never read anything of his concerning Christianity. Frankly, I've read very little of Avicenna directly. Maybe I should read some more. Basically, the only sections I've read it at length was the section around the famous quote about if someone denies the law of non-contradiction, set them on fire. Because I read that whole section, which was commentary on Aristotle's prior analytics. and it's really good. He goes into in that section at least a great amount of detail on basically how to teach logic, and then we can go beyond that to essentially how to teach the liberal arts, how to teach humanity, how to teach philosophy, especially. And boy, he does a good job of it. It's what seems like maybe mundane insights to us today, but mostly just because a lot of his insights have been integrated into our standard pedagogical methodologies. Especially he focuses on the importance of tailoring the learning, or tailoring the teaching to the learner, right? Which was not necessarily something that was super common in the classical world. That was kind of that was maybe even an innovation of his. So, I don't know. It's a good sequence, a good little bit of what I read of his. I haven't read much else other than excerpts and quotes by Aquinas, obviously. But from what I don't actually know what he had to say about Christianity, though. That's an interesting question. Yeah, here you go.
Why don't you stay and listen, hero? It's never too late to learn.
Right, let's listen to this.
Today's lesson will be on how to make friends. This fine hero has just given us a good example of how to make friends by donating this book to the school. Helping people out and giving presents are both good ways to make friends. Can anybody tell me another way to make friends?
Sir! Sir!
Yes?
Tell them you'll smash their teeth in if they won't be friends with you.
No, Billy. Threatening people is not really a good way to make friends with them.
Boy.
I think we need to work on this some more. You have done our school such a great service. I don't know if we can ever adequately repay you. I do have a little something, and, well, I know it's not much, but the children think you'll love it. We used it in our production of The Mage's Apprentice, but it was a little large for our particular actors.
Bright wizard hat. Okay, that's very cool. Thank you. Would I ever house a portrait of Avicenna in my office? Put it next to Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, Aquinas, etc. Maybe. Maybe. I have no objection in principle. Though, only really if I would only do so if I had a better grasp of his writings, which I don't really. That's the thing. More so, I would want some iconography. Yeah, I might have the Socratics, Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, probably Aquinas. But also, I have a great deal of respect as well, philosophically speaking, for Augustine, for Anselm, for Scotus. Those three, at least as much as Aquinas, and at least as much as Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle as well. And I'll say though as well, given my druthers on office decor, I'm more of a fan of knickknacks than portraiture. I would probably prefer busts to portraits when it comes to philosophers I love and admire. But that's not to say that I have room for any such things, at least not in my home office, not by any stretch of the imagination. So that's going to be a big no for right now. But maybe someday. Anyway, that's all I got time for. It is nearing midnight, so I'm going to call it a night tonight. Please, throw some cash at me right over there at ko-fi.com/Professor McCoy. Help buy me Greedfall 2, because I don't want to afford it, the whole thing. Do you ever have something ridiculous in your office? I used to keep a Nerf gun in my office to use as an example for thought experiments. Does that count? Wait, hold on. Ah! This one. Wait, no. I'm not actually going to cock it because it's not loaded. I don't want to dry fire it, but this one.
Great stuff! Wow!
was that? Anyway. There you go. Closing. All right. Anyway, like I said, throw some money at me. Ko-fi.com/Professor McCoy. I will put the link in Discord. I will absolutely do that. That's a good idea. Because I want to play Greedfall 2, but I didn't get it when it was on sale, and I'm kicking myself for that. So, don't make it on sale for me. So yeah, I'm hopefully planning on starting that one on Thursday. I'm gonna look at what my schedule is gonna be coming up. I might be moving some of my streams around. So I may be moving off of Tuesday, Thursday nights. We'll have to see. Or I might be moving time slots or whatever. We'll see. It's up in the air at the moment, so we'll see how things are looking. Anyway, but for this week at least, hopefully Thursday, Greedfall 2. Until then, thanks for joining me.
Have a good day.
I had a fun time with this. It looks like we're almost done with Fable. We're going to do a little bit more side quests next week, and then we're going to be finishing Fable 1. I also do, by the way, have Fable 2 and Fable 3. So that's what's going to be coming up next. So look forward to all that. Look forward to Greedfall 2. These people just love me. I'm going to run away from them. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful night. I will see you guys next time. Remember, until then, don't be safe, be well, more importantly, be good. Good night, folks.